ألم أسمع بيوم الحشر يوم الجمع والدين ألم أسمع مناد.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء. واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم. ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. فيا عباد الله أوصيكم وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله. Respected brothers and sisters in Iman, having praised Allah Azza wa Jalla and having sent salutation of exaltation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to descend upon the best of all messengers, the leader of all messengers, the leader of Waladi Bani Adam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us our sins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with Sahaba. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us istiqamatu fi deen, firmness in our deen, until when we will be graduated to be min ahli al-jannah. Our khutbah is still gonna address a portion of the journey that we started many weeks ago, al-rihlatu ila al-akhirah, our journey to akhirah. And we wanna deal with one hadith today. We wanna deal with a hadith because of time. Lakin bidayatan, I want to remind you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us fi surati al-Qiyamah. And this is more of a rhetoric question. It doesn't need al-jawab mubashara. It doesn't need immediate answer. But you have to internalize that question and work on it. Because the answer to that question is going to help you once you stand, once you are exhibited. You are exhibited في أرض المحشر. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول أيحسب الإنسان أن يترك سدى. Does a man think that he or she will be left neglected without being questioned, without being interrogated about obligatory duties which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enjoined on him while living in dunya? Does anyone think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not question him about his life, about his wealth, about his age, about his deen, about his wealth? Do you think that I'm not gonna ask you that you will be resurrected min al-ajdathi, yani min al-qubur, and then you go to Ardhul Mahshar, then you are told easily go to Jannah or go to Jahannam? Do you think that that is how easy it is? أَيَحْسَبُ الْإِنسَانُ أَن يُتْرَكَ سُدًى. A big question for each one of us. A very, very big question for all of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is planting that in your mind and your heart. Lest you say, لو أن الله هداني لكنت من المتقين. Lest you say that, oh, had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided me, if I were only reminded, I would have been among the pious. No, Allah guided you. Did you receive that guidance? And He informed you that I will question you and I will interrogate you about that ni'mah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us as an answer to this, fi nafsi surah, He says, yunabba'ul insanu yawma idhim bima qaddama wa akhar. That this insan, this mankind, who was created by Allah, who lived on the earth of Allah, who ate from arzak of Allah, who breathed from the air of Allah, who said, I'm alive because of life given to him or her by Allah, he and she shall be informed on the day of Qiyamah, bima qaddama wa akhar. Allah will inform you of what you sent forward when you are still alive in this world, and also what you left behind. You will be informed. So the answer is right there, that Allah will not let you neglected. Allah will question you about all your life and all your intentions and all your actions. You will be informed of everything that you did, past and present. There's a beautiful ayah, like all ayat, fi surah al-Najm. It starts from ayah number 31 and 32. يقول الله عز وجل ولله ما في السماوات وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. That to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala belongs whatever is in heavens and whatever is on earth. All belongs to Allah, including you and me. We are possessions of Allah. You don't belong to yourself. You don't even belong to your village. You don't belong to your dad and your mom. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used them as a vessel, a means of transport to transport you in dunya. Lakin you belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like all his creation. وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, having established that truth, he say, لِيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا بِمَا عَمِلُوا. Having known that everything belongs to Allah, having known that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought everything into existence, بَلْ هُوَ فَاطِرٌ وَهُوَ الْخَالِقُ. He is the one who created everything, and he is the one who originated everything. Having known that, he tells you that it's not enough to stop there. He connects you to your journey, your future journey. لِيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا بِمَا عَمِلُوا. He said that he brought you in this world to work righteous, because Allah is gonna reward those who did evil, those who disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala according to what they did. Yani the reward of bad is gonna be bad. وَيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا بِالْحُسْنَى. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that he will also reward those who did good in this world with the best good on the day of Qiyamah. لِيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا بِمَا عَمِلُوا وَيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا بِالْحُسْنَى. Who are these? الَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا فِي الدُّنْيَا. Who are they? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الَّذِينَ يَجْتَنِبُونَ كَبَائِرَ الْإِثْمِ وَالْفَوَاحِشَ إِلَّا اللَّمَمْ. These are people who focused in life. They were committed to Iman in Allah. They were committed in A'mal Salihah. They were committed to distancing themselves or disassociating themselves from major sins. They ran away from committing major sins. Al-zina, al-kadhib, al-khiyana, al-dhulm, al-shirku billah. These people avoided. Just like they were making effort to do good deeds, they also made big effort to avoid and distance themselves and disconnect from kaba'irul ithm, major sins. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, illa lamam, except some small sins that is the nature of a human being that happens. Small sins that they could not avoid. Like they knew that as I'm performing salah, if I leave the masjid today, salah tells me that inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. One of the message of salah that I've attended today, salah is talking to me that, hey, as you perform me, know that I have some conditions for you. Do not commit zina outside. Do not lie outside. Do not commit shirk outside. Do not commit act of kufr outside. Yani salah is giving you those conditions. الَّذِينَ يَجْتَنِبُونَ كَبَائِرَ الْإِثْمِ وَالْفَوَاحِشَ إِلَّا اللَّمَمْ. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ رَبَّكَ وَاسِعُ الْمَغْفِرَةِ. That verily your Lord is infinite. He is infinite in forgiving. He is encompassing in forgiving. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يغفر الذنوب جميعا. He forgives all sins. خاصة لمن تاب وآمن وعمل عملا صالحا. For a person who repents and believes and do good righteous deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is wasi'ul maghfirah. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds you when he talks to you. He say, يعني إن ربك هو واسع المغفرة هو أعلم بكم. That Allah Azza wa Jalla, who created you, is the one who is the all-knowing of you and your affairs. You do not even know yourself. You do not even know some of yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you some of yourself as a rahmah from him. But wallahi, you will die not knowing its nature. For example, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ They asked Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Nabiyul Ummah, can you define, can you describe, can you elaborate, can you tell us the nature of the ruh? Did he have an answer? No. Before he opened his mouth, Jibril alayhi salam is coming with an answer. قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Tell those who are asking you about the nature of the ruh, tell them ruh is of the commands of Allah, not in your hand, O Muhammad. You do not know much about ar-ruh, except what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made you to know. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Muhammad ibn Abdullah, upon whom the entire Quran and Deen and Sunnah was revealed, Allah tells him, وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. And you haven't been given of knowledge except little, O Muhammad. Allah. Huwa a'lamu bikum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your conditions. Allah azza wa jalla knows your lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware. He is khabirun bima ta'amalun. He is all aware of what you are doing. Huwa a'lamu bikum. Then he says, إِذْ أَنْشَأَكُم مِّنَ الْأَرْضِ. Remember when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought you in life from the earth, from the dust. That is how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows you. Before he brought you into existence from the earth, he knew you. وَإِذْ أَنْتُمْ أَجِنَّةٌ فِي بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows you as soon as you are planted in your mother's womb. He knew you because he says, يَخْلُقُكُمْ فِي بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ خَلْقًا مِّن بَعْدِ خَلْقٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتٍ ثَلَاثٍ. That the one who creates you, who forms you in your mother's womb, creation after creation, stage after stage, in three darknesses is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this also has been explained. I don't want to go outside the topic. في سورة الحج يا أيها الناس, O people, إن كنتم في ريب من البعث, if you are in doubt of the resurrection, فإنا خلقناكم من تراب ثم من نطفة. Yani one ayah summarizes our life. Who is summarizing our life? The one who say, Huwa a'lamu bikum, that he, Allah, knows about you. He knows about you. Before you were formed, when you were being formed, he was forming you. He knows your condition now. Allah knows how many times your eyes opens and close. You don't even know that. We talk about technology and we talk about I'm smart in math. If we ask you after 1 hour, can you tell us how many times did you open your eyes and close? You will never tell us. And how many times did your heart beat? You cannot tell us. How many times did you even open your big mouth? You cannot tell us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that huwa a'lamu bikum إِذْ أَنْشَأَكُم مِّنَ الْأَرْضِ وَإِذْ أَنْتُمْ أَجِنَّةٌ فِي بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ. Now there is a message. That is information. The message is فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. So do not falsely elevate yourselves thinking that you are better. Do not falsely think that you are above everybody. هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. Allah who knows you, who brought you into existence, is the only one who knows who is more pious and who fear him most. The ayah is لِيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا بِمَا عَمِلُوا وَيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا بِالْحُسْنَى. Focus on that. Allah is going to reward you. If you do bad, He's going to reward you with bad. And if you do good, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He will reward you not only with good, but with the best. My brothers, that is the day of Qiyamah. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us, hadith narrated by Imam, by Sahabiyun Jalil, known as Abdul Rahman ibn Sakhri al-Dawsi. This is Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. He says, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال سبعة يظلهم الله في ظله يوم لا ظل إلا ظله. That there are 7 categories of people who will be shaded under the shade of Arsh of Allah on the day when there will be no shade except the shade of Arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are other hadiths describing other categories, but this in particular is mentioning 7. So you need to ask yourself, do I have one of these qualities? Do I have 2? Am I working on the 3rd one, 4th one until I reach 7 or not? Or I don't have them completely. And if you do not have them completely, it's not too late. Start now. Make intention now as you hear this. And this hadith has been explained by many scholars and many khutbah. 7 categories of people who will be shaded under the shade of Arsh of Allah on the day in which or on which there will be no shade except the shade of Arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first one, Imamun Adil, a just ruler, a just leader. Leader of a country, leader of a sharika, leader of the house, leader of the masjid. Imamun Adil, a leader. From Khalifa to Amir, coming down to you, Rabbul Bayt, a father. If you are just to your wife, if you are just to your children, if you are just between your children, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to shade you under the shade of Arsh on the day when there will be no shade except the shade of Arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did you ever think like that? Especially married people, that I'm a leader and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask me about my leadership. Did you ever think like that? Mudirul madrasa wa imamul masjid, Ra'isul dawla wa wazirul wuzara. Did you ever think that position is a mas'uliyah, is a responsibility, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask you about it or not? Hadith of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Ma min abdin yastari'ihi Allahu," that there is no person who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants a position, yastari'ihi Allahu, yani a person who is given a position by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lead ra'iyata, yani his people, yamutu yawma yamut, then he dies on his death day, wa huwa ghashun li ra'iyatihi, when he is unjust, he dies in a state of being unjust. He is a zalim, he is an oppressor. You are an oppressor to your wife, you are an oppressor to your children, you are an oppressor to your workers, you are an oppressor to your subject as a Ra'isul Dawla. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has permitted you, he may not like you, but he permitted you to lead, to assume that office. You know what is going to happen on the day of Qiyamah? Except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make Jannah haram for him. Allah will make Jannah haram for you on the day of Qiyamah. You will not enter Jannah on the day of Qiyamah. I want to tell leaders, wherever you are at work, I want to tell you, as a wazir somewhere, masjid, everybody's in the masjid. I want to tell especially parents that it's not all about I'm married, especially fathers. It's not all about I'm married, I have children, mashallah, my children have graduated. You have a big wizard. You have a big burden on the day of Qiyamah, so be very careful how you treat your family. And message goes to mothers as well, because you are also responsible in your house. Imamun Adil, a leader who is just, will be shaded under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day when there will be no shade except the shade of Arsh of Allah. Point number 2 quickly is washabun nasha'a fi ibadatillah. A young person, a youth who grew up in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Youths are in the masjid. There are some youths in the history of Quran who made it. Some of them were younger than you. There are some youths in the time of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In fact, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam loved youth so much. Most of Sahaba around him, whom he used as ambassadors, as generals, army generals, were young people. He used them as sufara, he used them as ambassadors to foreign land, young Sahaba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says regarding them, إِنَّهُمْ فِتْيَةٌ آمَنُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ وَزِدْنَاهُمْ هُدًى. They were young people who chose to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a reward increased them guidance. You can make it, young man. You can make it. And I just want to send a message that Allah will ask you about many things. But there is a hadith where Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is mentioning 4 things, and he says that لا تزول قدم عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن أربعين. A person, nobody will make any movement. عندما سنوقف when we will stand fi Ardhul Mahshar, no one will make any step, any movement unless you are asked about many things. In this hadith, there are 4. And one of the 4 is وَعَنْ شَبَابِهِ فِي مَا أَبْلَهِ. Allah will ask you about the golden age. The golden age of the youthful, a teenager. You can run, you can go to the gym, you can say, I'm coming, I'm improving, I'm moving towards 6-pack, you know. That is how strong you think you are. You touch your stomach, you say 6-pack, not 7. Allah is going to ask you about that age. How did you spend it? Do not take it for granted. Do not say, I was just young. Some young people say, you know, this is my time, let me enjoy. When I get old like you, then I'm going to stop. MashaAllah, you have an agreement with Allah that you're going to reach that age. Yeah. You have an agreement with Allah that you're not going to die tomorrow, right? Allah will ask you about your youth. Wallah, and I know some older people are regretting now. Layta ash-shabab ya'udu yawman. They say, I wish if that age of youth and what returns, because now I have known what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala requires of me. Take advantage of youth, because Allah is promising through Rasul that you will be shaded under the shade of Arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Point number 3. وَرَجُلٌ قَلْبُهُ مُعَلَّقٌ بِالْمَسَاجِدِ. A person whose heart is connected to the masjid. A Muslim whose heart is connected to the masjid. A Muslim whose heart is attached to the masjid. I'm repeating this because most of us have treated masjid as a part-time place. Masajid are empty. Yani now there's a trend. We are naftakhiru bi ad-dakhamatul masjid. I went to Turkey. Do you know Blue Masjid? Oh man. I went to Germany. There's a masjid built by Ardhul and I don't know when. And Saudi built this masjid. MashaAllah, glasses, marbles, pebbles, this and that, and this and that. But if you go to those masajid are empty. Where is our heart? Where is the connection of our heart to Buyutullah? Where is it? You want to see this on Jum'ah? All masajid are full. That is why we are even doing 2 Jum'ahs. The asl of Jum'ah is only 1, not 2. You have to know that. I wish if Muslims realize that there was only 1 Jumu'ah established in the time of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that was it. We started second because there are some ara, al-ijtihadiyya, al-fiqhiyya. There are some opinions, like Ahmad ibn Hanbal, rahimahullah, say that the time of Jumu'ah starts from time of Eid. You can start your so there are ara like this. Lakin al-aslu, when Muslims were Muslims, when Muslims were mu'minun, when Muslims when their hearts were connected to the house of Allah, when the priority was the dhikr of Allah, there was no 2 Jum'ahs in Medina. It was never reported in any book that Rasul salla bin nas kam Jum'atan. He never did that. Lakin because of da'af of our iman and because of irtibatat of shughul wa mayla dhalik, oh, I want to come to the second one and third one. Now some masajid are going to the 3rd and 4th in some places. Do you know that in America, there are places where there is 3 Jum'ahs or 4 Jum'ahs? Brothers in Islam, masajid are empty. People are building masajid of 4 million, 5 million. On Jum'ah, there are only 15 people. 15 people in a masjid of $4-5 million on Jum'ah. What about other days? Denver in Colorado, go to any masjid on Asr and other days. If you will see, come sufuf. Our hearts, are they connected to the Buyutullah? So I want to give you a hadith. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, and listen to this hadith. Abu Darda radiyallahu anhu says, Al-masjidu baytu kulli taqiyyin. That masjid is a house of every pious Muslim. If you are pious, if you are righteous, masjid is going to be your house. He said, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, takaffala Allahu azza wa jalla. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guaranteed liman kana al-masjidu baytahu, a person whose heart is attached to the masjid, that he makes the masjid to be like his house. And then he said, what this person will get, this person will get, he said, بالروح والرحمة والجواز على الصراط إلى رضوان الله عز وجل إلى جنته. Yani 5 things you are guaranteed. If your heart is connected to the masjid, if you love masjid, if you build masajid, if you help masajid, if you clean masajid, if you spend some time in the houses of Allah, Allah has taken 5 guarantees. The first one, that He will give you comfort in the grave and tomorrow hereafter. Number 2, rahmah. Allah will give you rahmah, mercy. Do you know what mercy is? Salman al-Farisi is narrating hadith fi Sahih Muslim. Anna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam qala, I'm giving you just a hint about the extent of rahmah of Allah. He say, Inna lillahi ta'ala mi'ata rahmah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created His mercy. He created mercy and He divided His mercy. He divided His mercy into 100 portions. Minha rahmatun rahmah yatarahamu biha al-khalqu baynahum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took 1 out of 100, which means 99 are left. He took 1 and distributed among His creation just 1 portion of rahmah. It is this that makes a mother to feel that I'm gonna keep my baby for 9 months. It is this that makes father to say that I have to work so hard to feed my family. It is this rahmah that is distributed amongst khalaiq, yani creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The question is, what is happening with the tis'un wa tis'un? 99 portions. One answer, liyawmil qiyamah. Allah has kept that for you for the day of qiyamah. Dunya is so good, I'm successful, I bought my house, I have a wife, I have children, I'm educated, I'm a millionaire now, I'm this and this, I'm healthy, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a professor now, I'm a president of the country. You are enjoying a portion, small portion, a fraction of 1 portion of rahmah which Allah distributed amongst His creation. What do you think? What are you gonna do with, suppose you are given only 2 for yourself on the day of death? I have to cut this khutbah now, but I have a message for you. We talk about why are we weak. We are talking about our da'af. We are talking about what is happening with the ummah, because we have not connected our heart to buyut of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, lamma qadim al-Madinah, when Rasul arrived in Medina min Makkah, one of the mashari, one of the projects that he executed and established is Bana Masjidah. Bana al-Masajid, he built masajid. Because it is where we communicate with Allah. It is the source of our spirituality. Masjid, Allah, this is house of Allah. This is where we gain strength. This is the source of our unity. This is where we stand together. You don't know who is a professor here, who is poor, who is rich. House of Allah. Yani, we stand shoulder to shoulder, all of us saying Allahu Akbar. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is great. Lamma harabna min al-masajid, wa tarakna al-masajid, wa nasinaha. What happened? When we ran away from the masajid and our hearts were disconnected to buyut of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what happened? So, I will continue with a portion of masajid. A person whose heart is connected to masajid. And inshallah next week, if I'm alive again, I will continue what will remain.
الموت يدعوني يناديني فيا رباه